And thank you so much for joining us. Blake has the night off. Well, new tonight, an East Texas man is in jail, charged in a string of cold cases spanning nearly 2 decades. Our Lexi Vanetti joining us now in the studio with the latest on the arrest of a Tyler man suspected in a series of sexual assaults. Lexi, what have you learned so far?
Jennifer, tonight, 44-year-old Vicente Rodriguez Sr. is in Smith County Jail on charges of aggravated sexual assault. He was arrested on March 21st. 19 years and 7 months after the defendant's first alleged offense. Here's a look at how this case evolved. Tonight, we know the first victim was kidnapped and sexually assaulted in Tyler in August 2003, according to the investigator, a Texas Ranger who specializes in cold cases. The victim in that case described the attacker as Hispanic, 25 to 26 years old, and that they saw the name Vicente on their phone. Then in December 2012, a second victim was kidnapped and sexually assaulted in Tyler. A third attack was reported in April 2016. The victim in that case was sexually assaulted after getting in a vehicle with someone they thought they recognized. DNA evidence was collected in all 3 cases. A family member gave a sample of his DNA to the investigator, which was sent in for comparison on November 1st. The DPS crime lab found the DNA from the attacks all matched DNA profile of an unidentified man. Similarities in the victim's descriptions and Smith County legal records eventually led police to Zavaleta. Jennifer, tonight Zavaleta remains in the Smith County Jail on a $500,000 bond.
All right, Lexi, thank you for that report.